All right, so today, or in this video, I want to go over a technique that can help. It's a good warm-up thing to do in your warm-up routine. It can also help alleviate low back pain when it pops up periodically throughout the day. Give me a break on when I start talking about the origins of it and the specifics of it. It was told to me word of mouth, and then I read the book by the doctor who came up with it, but my memory is not so great on details. I just remember general ideas and concepts very well. It's called the McKenzie technique, okay, and it's a very simple technique. So you actually start off by doing exactly what I'm doing here. You lay prone on the floor. Now, I like to tell clients to have the toes in. I'm not sure if you can see my toes in the video, but have my toes facing inward towards each other and internally rotate the legs. Don't have them, if you just lay naturally, most people will have their knees and their legs kind of externally rotate. But to get a better stretch and a better effect in the McKenzie technique, I have found that if you cue that internal rotation of the feet and the legs, you do get a better effect. So start by laying prone, rotate everything in, and then what you want to do is just prop yourself up as much as you can, very gently for the first round of this technique, okay? So some people might be comfortable where I am here, just sitting on their elbows. Some people are gonna be so tight that this is all they can do is just lay on the floor. That is fine. You're going to improve by the end of this, I promise. So find a position where you can just come up naturally, and you're gonna feel a lot of tight. If you're bad in this position, you're gonna feel tightness in those hips. You're gonna feel the psoas, the abs not want to relax and let go for the first few moments. Just sit here, focus on your stomach breathing. We'll take big breaths in through the nose and fill the stomach up. And over time, you're gonna feel just in this position, don't try to press up anymore. You will feel things relax over time. So stay here for a good 30 to 60 seconds, then go back down to the floor, okay? And now some of this stuff isn't explicitly, instruction-wise, it's not explicitly said in the McKenzie technique, but again, these are just some things I've added over time that I have found to make it more effective. So when you do go relax and go back down into this position, I like to tell clients to push their knees and their forearms into the ground, and what you're going to feel is the abs contract, the abs and the hip flexors contract. So I'm not sure if this is technically a PNF technique, but the concept is the same. You are stretching a muscle or an area, and then you are contracting it, and you get a reciprocal inhibition effect in the low back, I personally feel. So again, pushing my knees, elbows, forearms into the ground. Hold that for anywhere between 6 to 10 seconds. Relax. Then you're going to come back up and you're going to find that you naturally, easily are able to get into a higher position, okay? And we're just going to repeat this technique for anywhere between 3 to 5 times, even 6 times, okay? So again, just sitting here, I'm not forcing anything. I just have found that naturally I can sit up a little bit higher. Now, on the background of this was, I believe it was a chiropractor, and he was working on a patient, and another one of his patients came in that he routinely sees, and he told the guy that just came in, he said, hey, go into the next room, wait for me, I'm wrapping up with this client, I'll see you there in about 5 or 10 minutes. So the patient goes to the other room to wait. The doctor finishes up with the client, walks in, and finds the guy laying on a table with the table at the backrest up, but he's laying on the table face down. Because as far as this guy knew, every time he came into the office, when he went to go lay on a table, he would start by laying face down. Now, this table with the backrest up, it didn't faze him at all. He still laid face down. So he went into the office and laid on the table in the exact same position I'm in. And he must have been sitting there for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes until the doctor came and found him. All right, so again, going back down to the floor, okay? Legs, feet still internally rotated, pressing the knees, forearms, and elbows into the floor, contracting the abs, hip flexors. Relaxing. And then again, gently coming up into what you'll find is a higher position, right? So the guy was laying there in that face down position for 5 to 10 minutes, and the doctor kept his cool. He tried not to freak out. He thought this guy was going to be paralyzed or have permanent injuries for the rest of his life after sitting like that for a moment, for that amount of time. But he instructed the guy, okay, gently just go ahead and get up from that position and stand up and let's see how you feel. And the guy gets up and he goes, oh, doc, I feel incredible. So one thing led to another. The doctor ended up researching spinal positions and what the spine was doing in that position, how it could be creating such a pain relieving effect, creating more mobility and range of motion when all knowledge at that time would have prevented him from putting somebody into that position. And ended up writing a book on it, called it the McKenzie technique. Became pretty famous for it from what I understand. All right, so you guys see that I'm naturally just getting higher and higher. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not pushing myself back any further than I did when I first started this. So let's do this one more time, back down to the floor. Everything is internally rotated. You're gonna have to reset it because it's gonna wanna keep externally rotating. And now push the knees, forearms, and elbows into the floor, contracting the abs. Relax. And then again, we'll come up one more time and see where we are. So now I can get to this position really, really easy. It didn't take any level of effort. I'm just sitting here talking to you guys. And again, I know it looks like what we're doing here is stretching the abs, the hip flexors, that whole area right there. But what's commonly talked about is how, because we're chronically sitting, that the hip flexors, the abs, everything in that area becomes very tight, and your front actually acts as an inhibitor for your low back. I'm trying to be very general here and not get specific because I want this to be applicable to everybody. So a tight front will be a inhibited or a weak lower back, okay, and can feel like a tight low back when really what's going on is you have a tight front. All right, we're going to come out of this position. Now, I have specific instructions on how to get out of this position. Go ahead, give the abs, everything a nice flex, real quick, not too long. And then what we're going to do is come up into a child's pose. I believe this is a child's pose. I'm not a yogi. Cut me some slack. All right, letting those tissues resettle. Nice big stomach breaths. Sitting up. Not sure if you can see me in the video anymore, but again, that is, I suppose it's the modified McKenzie technique. I'm not sure. Try it out for yourself. I would advise to immediately stop if you feel any sharp pains, but I think everybody will be okay trying this out. Let me know if it helps you. Thanks for tuning in.